Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, oh my God, it is so cold out. I am sitting here and I've been trying to get warm, and I was in my family room and I was just all bundled up in blankets, and I moved over here and I think I've just been cold all night. I was up really late working and I was just in all this creative energy, and then I watched a movie last night of which I just could not stay awake for. Come 2:30 in the morning, I was like, I am done. I am done with this. But then I woke up this morning and my alarm went off because I was supposed to take my son to work. I had told him that I would give him a ride to work this morning, and I just looked at everything. I was like, not happening. Not happening. I do not feel like getting in the car cold and just getting ready. So I just went, you know what? Fuck it. I've been really good lately. I just going, nope, fuck it. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to, honor where I'm at, what's going on. And no matter what's coming at me, just try to really deeply honor that, because that's what I need. And that's what you need too, is to honor exactly where you're at. And my message this morning, as I was sitting there and I was answering a whole bunch of questions, I hardly ever mess around with these little games here on Facebook or anything, but at the turn of the year, there's always these cool little, fortune telling games, and kind of like, this is what your new year's going to be. This is what this is going to be, that going to be. And so I was going through and I was answering different things, the questions, things that I don't know how I missed that on my Facebook, but I guess I never go to my profile really and look. So I was answering questions and I was just playing this oh my OMG app thing and just seeing what it had to say. So it was just saying that, I would have all this financial abundance, and the things that was going to mean the most to me was that would sum up my year would be financial abundance and family and travel and romance. And it's so funny because that's exactly, like that, I can completely see that happening. I have counted 2019 even as my Europe year for some reason. I'm just like, I'm going to go to Europe a couple times in 2019. Something is telling me that I have these destinations on the brain, Paris, England, and Ireland being the three that I'm definitely going to try to make it to. But, then I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm cold and I'm thinking about all this stuff. Hold on just a second. Cold and thinking about all this stuff. And I was like, wow, girl, you were like really freaking turned on right now. Like, I just felt all this swirling energy in my second chakra, and I was just like, okay, I am seriously turned on. Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Addison. And I was just, and I still am. Like, I have this, this warming sensation, this pulsing sensation. And as I was laying there, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I really am turned on right now in this moment. And I realized that was there when I even got up. And the best days for me are those days when I wake up with that kind of turn on in my body. Not that I necessarily have to go and have sex, or that I need sex even, just the recognition of physical turn on in the body. And yesterday I really just focused in. I managed to focus in and get a whole bunch of stuff accomplished. Like I talked about in Conscious Coffee yesterday about, closing up things and accomplishing tasks and moving forward, the things that you need to kind of look at as you're moving into the new year. What do you need to accomplish so that you're not doing it next week? Get it done this week. So I really spent a lot of time yesterday doing just that for myself and for my business and even in my family life. And I looked at different things there, and I've got running lists now as to what to get accomplished between now and the 1st. But I personally believe that a lot of the turn on that I'm experiencing today, a lot of the sensations and, the truly just the being in love with life. Because yesterday, if anybody read my article about, it's a picture of me standing in the dressing room in a dress. And I was talking about it's all about getting ready to be ready. I was talking about feeling overwhelmed and anxiety and all this different stuff. And that's really for anybody in my personal life, they would go, oh yeah, that's where she was at. My articles and my Conscious Coffee typically are talking about, like, those are my very raw shares with you guys as to like what's going on in my life. And my article was definitely an article that was just sharing like where I was at, because that's where I was just kind of what I was feeling, different things, and then what it really truly means. So to be able to process that through, share that with everybody, and also show what Spirit is really trying to guide us to get from these moments. And so, yesterday I was feeling this like, weightiness and just this overwhelm. And so I just said, fuck it. Like I have to step away from some things. I have to clear space. I have to tackle projects. I'm not going to be worried about cleaning my house. I'm not going to be worried about putting my laundry away. I'm not going to be worried about grocery shopping. I'm not going to be worried about, sitting down and paying bills or anything like that. I'm going to get done the things that I know will clear the energetic space for me so that I can just kind of get refocused, recentered in here, so that everything starts to recenter and get better out here. And I'm not 100% there. I know that there's still things that I've got to get done. Otherwise, I'll just end up back in that. I also understand, like I was talking about in my article yesterday, about that you need to just allow yourself to kind of just go there and just let it all out. Like empty your cup, fully empty your cup, so that you can have space to receive. And funny enough, I had wrote that article yesterday morning, and I started feeling more relief as I was working through the day. I started feeling more relief. I started feeling more room for me to breathe in here, right? Like there's the spaces we're starting to just empty out from all the clutter that was there. And I sat there, and I think I booked like 3 or 4 consults with potential new clients yesterday. And I got in a whole bunch of applications with new clients. And, I did all this different follow-up work. I had people messaging me about different stuff, was booking appointments with stuff. And it's really, truly just a sign of like, when you understand and know what energy and what your physical being is trying to tell you, then it's a heck of a lot easier to push through and not get caught so much in ego, or to allow yourself to step into that ego, but with consciousness, not just to be fully overtaken by it, right? And that, I think, is a really big key point. But the big thing that you have to look at is, how are you waking up into your day? So yesterday I was not turned on. Yesterday I felt overwhelmed, stressed, anxiety, the way the universe actually on me. I felt constricted. I felt, I needed to push things away. And so I listened to those sensations, and I did it as best I could, and just was like, push, cleared my physical space, cleared my time space, so that I can then focus in and start clearing the internal stuff that needed to start to be cleaned up. So I did some house care, some housework inside my being to really start to work on that maintenance that needed to take place, that emptying out of stuff. It was quickly rewarded energetically by people responding back, by the universe going, okay, good job on clearing. Let's fill this up. Good job on clearing. Let's fill this up. So, I cleared out some junk over here, and I had some new stuff come in. If it's junk or not, well, that's still to be found out, right? Because I haven't really unwrapped those things yet. But I know that there's opportunity kind of flooding in and coming in. So that was good. Then this morning, that equates over to really then that opening and that emptying, and then the universe going, well, here's some blessings for you. Now, I could just focus in, and I could say, I'm going to focus in on these blessings. I'm going to be grateful for it, which I am. I'm going to be grateful for it. And I'm going to then, I'm going to fill my day up with a whole bunch of stuff and just let my day get carried away and let it overtake me. And then what? Then I'm going to end up probably feeling that overwhelm, that anxiety come Saturday or Sunday. And instead of Sundays, normally my family day, Sunday's the day that I normally just take and really focus in on self and on family. So do I want to wreck my Sunday and by letting today or tomorrow be overtaken by all that same shit? Or do I want to keep cleaning my house, keep emptying? And what does that do? Keep my turn on at a high, keep my creative energy at a high, and keep loving life. Keep loving where I'm at. Keep loving what's coming in. Keep loving what's going out. Being in gratitude for that and acceptance of it. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. Is to do that, because I want that flow coming in. And I know that this space that I was speaking of yesterday in my article is that it's truly just that house cleaning, like empty the vessel, empty this being right here so that you can have this overflow. Because I don't want to just have little drips of blessing. We're going into 2019. I have some really big ass goals for 2019. So in order for me to accomplish my goals, I have to be able to empty out the shit that does not matter right now, the things that are taking up the clutter. Otherwise, it's kind of like I'm hoarding a whole bunch of last year's blessings, and I'm not accessing them. I'm not, making use of them in any way. They're just sitting there and they're getting stale. And it's best to just kind of let those go, because as they get stale and as they're not fully accessed, guess what? They start to kind of turn, and the blessings turn then into almost curses, you could say. So don't let those blessings turn into curses by letting them clear out. Just let them dispose, but keep your focus in on as you're clearing that out as to what your turn on is. So what your turn on is not the sexual nature of it. It is about just being turned on to life. That is, I use the word orgasm a lot, and people always think that I'm talking about sex. I'm not talking about sex 98% of the time. I'm not talking about sex 98% of the time. I'm talking about having an orgasmic life, which means living blissed out, which means fuck yes life, which means living on purpose and making yourself a priority, yes, in your life, not to be the doormat, not to be doing all the things that you don't want to do, that you're not feeling an alignment to, that you're not feeling a yes to. To be turned on means that you are turned on to your life. Now, just like in dating, in sex, we might meet somebody, it doesn't much matter what they look like, what their resume is, what anything is. We are either turned on to that person or we're not turned on to that person, right? It's not just like you don't just turned on to somebody just because they're in front of you, just because they're, the right sex. That has nothing to do with it. You're turned on to a person for things that you may not fully understand. And when you are turned on to somebody, then what? Your interest is there. They pique your interest. You want to inquire. You want to get to know them. You might instantaneously feel sexual desire towards them. You might instantaneously really want to inquire and go, there's something about this person that I'm supposed to connect with them. Well, that is the same thing with anything in our life. Anything in our life can turn us on. If we are going to a job, if we are writing an article, the clothes that we choose to wear, the things that we choose to purchase at the store. I mean, are you going to buy the shoes that you really, ladies, I'm talking to you here, because guys are like, oh God, she just said shoes. Yeah, well, us girls, we love shoes. But no, I mean, shoes, lingerie, underwear, pajamas, it's like, do you want to buy something that you don't like? Or do you want to buy something that you do like? Turn on is nothing more than that. It's just what you like, what draws you in, okay? What catches your fancy. So go towards that stuff. Go towards the adventure. Go towards the fascination. What just leads you in. If it's pulling you in, it's pulling you in for a reason. If it captivated your eye, it captivated your eye for a reason. It may not be a long-term reason, but it's still a reason that it's there. So go explore, because if you say no to the things that are capturing your eye, then you're actually saying no to your soul alignment. You're actually saying no to everything that you probably need to be leaning into, because that's the next step. It's stepping you toward what you truly want. It's stepping you toward greater joy, greater happiness, greater love, greater fulfillment, more blessing. Okay? If it turns you on, and even if it gives you butterflies, that just says that you're going to be growing, that you're expanding, that it's something that's out of your comfort zone. But guess what? Out of your comfort zone means that you're growing, right? Because if you do everything inside your comfort zone, you're going to repeat what you just did. That's it. You're just going to keep repeating. And if you want 2019 to be a year of opening doors, a year of greatness, do you get it by doing everything that you did at the turn of the year coming into 2018? Or do you get it by pushing a little bit, by expanding yourself, by breathing in and expanding yourself, looking and seeing what you need to dispose of in this year so that you can expand stuff? Because otherwise you're just sitting there carrying a whole bunch of old crap, and you don't have the time, the energy, or the space, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, potentially even, to hold on to all this unneeded, unwanted old stuff. So we let go of the old so we can step into the new. And we say that, we give it lip service, but we don't really do it. We don't really do it. And I can tell you that for those out there who make the choice to step away from the old, no matter how hard that may be, and to step into the new, and to really just breathe that uncertainty in, much like yesterday, for me, when I was like saying no to different things, because I suck at saying no. I don't want to say no to anybody. I still, with all the boundary work that I have done, and with all the fuck yes work that I have done, and the understanding that I have around things, I would say that one of my greatest weaknesses is that I can't say no. I stink at saying no. I will let people overrun me still because I care too damn fucking much. I'm trying to make them happy, and I typically will try to make somebody happy until I really start to feel that push on self, and I go, oh my gosh, I'm really not happy. Like I've given too much. I've given too much time to step away. And I can tell you that that's not good. That's not good. And it is a really big, like, bad Kendal thing. Bad, bad, bad. You know, I was told the other day by somebody who I deeply care for. They were telling me, you're the mother of so much. And I looked at this person and I was like, mother of so much, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you're the mother of so much. I was like, well, yeah, I have 7 kids. Of course I'm the mother of so much. 7 kids, plus a grandbaby on the way, plus the add-ons from my 7 kids. Of course, I'm like, Mom. And then we got all the kids as friends and all this different stuff. And I know everybody calls me Mom. They're like, hey, Mama, you know, my kids as friends walk in, and I'm Mom to everybody. Because they just know that I can hold that space for them, and they can drop down, and they can pretty much tell me anything. So I was like, yeah, I am the mom to so much. But this person was like, no, I'm not just talking about children. I'm not just talking about actual motherhood, that you actually are the mom to so much, that you, and what they were talking about was the nurturing nature, the holding of space. And my number one issue being that I suck at saying no. So to catch yourself, and I know that a lot of people out there have the same issue, to say no is really, really tough, because we don't want to hurt somebody else, because we see that they need us in that moment, maybe emotionally, maybe just to hold space, maybe to, you know, for whatever it is, to just listen, to be their sounding board, right? Or they actually just need time. They need to know that somebody cares. Well, unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that we cannot always be that somebody for everybody in our lives. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I want everybody to know that I love them. I want to, for some reason, I think that I can take my 24 hours in a day and turn it into 72. But it's not true. It's not true. I mean, I do that for a couple days in a row, and then I burn out, and then I crash and I burn, and I emotionally get distraught and just totally fucked up. So part of the lesson of moving into the new year that I'm taking with me is that I really need to step up and start to, you know, like really be harsher on my nose, really set my boundaries. If I want to succeed and have the goals manifest that I have in my head and in my journal and in my writings actually come out and be created, then that means to set the tone for that by setting proper boundaries and getting right with my yeses and right with my nos right here, because this is my weak spot. And I'm telling you guys because, hey, I think it's good to, I think that it's good as a coach, as a coach, educator. The last thing I ever want to do is be perceived as though I know everything, or that my life is perfect, or that everything is just, you know, hunky-dory perfect over here. and that you guys always have the problems and I don't have any problems. It's not true. Every single person on this planet has a whole bunch of shit going on. We all have a whole bunch of issues, and nobody is perfect. No such thing as the perfect person. It's probably especially the person that is trying to be perceived as perfect. So I think that in my rawness and in my truth, I can also share that what I'm doing to fix things, what I see those little holdbacks to be. And if it resonates with you, then you can take that advice. You can try to, mimic or see if something there works for you that I'm sharing, which is the beauty behind Conscious Coffee, right? The beauty behind writing articles, the beauty behind being able to do workshops is that I'm in this world of self-education and of learning and growth and constantly staying on top of things. So I always look at it as though I get to present at least the Cliff Notes version to you guys so that I can be like, okay, I went and read these 3 books and I went to this week-long, retreat and I did this and I did this and I did this. And I know that you don't have the time for all that. Here's the Cliff Notes. Here's what I got from it. Here's my takeaway. Here's the problem and here's the solution. And in doing that, kind of helps. At least I hope it helps. Now, I've completely derailed my conversation and I have not drank my coffee. Back to waking up, turned on, and in love. And if you're not these 2 things, the reality is we'll go full circle, because I always do. There's always a meaning behind everything, right? If you're not waking up turned on and in love with your life, then we're back to that needing to clear the space the fuck out. I mean, that's just what has to happen, is you have to clear out your space, because if you don't, then you're never going to be turned on or in love with your life. That's the simple truth of it. And all my rambling here has basically just come back to that very point. Waking up turned on and in love with your life tells you that you are in soul alignment, tells you that you are where you need to be, that you're listening, that you're hearing, and that you're stepping clearly on your path. Now, we do get caught up in the desire to see all the steps. But in truth, if we were given all the steps for our life and they were all printed out for us, nicely organized, we would not want to take some of those steps. We would forget them. We would probably mess them up. And it would take all the beauty, all the joy, all the adventure out of our life, right? So we are given the steps as we can consume them, moment by moment. But here's the thing. As we're given those steps, which we're constantly given steps, okay? We're constantly given steps. The only thing is that most of the time, we don't see the guidance that we're getting. We don't listen to the guidance that we're getting. We shut it down. And one of our biggest guidance systems, our GPS, our internal GPS system, is the way we feel about something. And I know that you guys might be tired of hearing me talk about feeling good, but back to the turn on and being in love with your life. To be turned on, to be in love with your life, means that you feel good. It means that you feel good. And if you feel good, then you're in alignment to your path. Then you're in alignment to your soul. And your path is going to come to you with the most ease possible. Doesn't mean that it's going to be always easy, always simple. Everything's going to be perfect, organic chocolate, wine, and roses all the time. But it does mean that it's going to be a lot softer, a lot easier, a lot more beautiful of a path than what it would be if you weren't listening. But then we like complexity. We like drama. We like chaos. We're kind of sort of addicted to that stuff, right? So what do? We cover our ears. We cover our eyes. We don't see. We don't listen. And then we sit around and we bitch about not getting the messages, about not knowing who we are, about not knowing what to do next. We sit around and we point fingers and we go, well, so-and-so, and that happened, and this happened, and if that job hadn't done that, and if that person hadn't done that. We point. Blame. And that's just us going, That's it. That's all that we're doing there. We are we are resisting hearing the messages because we are deeply, deeply addicted to the drama and the chaos that we get from not listening. So, feeling good though. Feeling good, number one, feels really fucking good, right? Feeling good feels good. So, want an orgasmic life? Want that fuck yes life? Want to be turned on? Want to be in love with your life? Well, then you got to focus on your GPS system. And the GPS system of feeling good, being happy. Follow what makes you happy. Follow what turns you on. Not sexually turns you on, although that's not bad either, but that's not the topic. Turns you on in life. Follow what gives you butterflies. Follow what seems like it's an adventure. You know, somebody told me that I remind them of Alice in Wonderland. And when this statement was actually stated to me the first time and the second time, I took a little offense to it. In truth, my ego was like, bam. And I didn't say a whole lot. I think I might have inquired a little bit on the first round. But at first, I got a little pissed internally. And I had to check it with myself because it felt like it was kind of like coming to me. And I think it was my own insecurity. So I'm going to state that because I know this person is probably going to see this video. I want to make sure I'm not blaming here. I'm just noticing and the understanding here. I was shared that I reminded like Alice in Wonderland, right? And that first initial feeling of when that was said, I was like, I felt like this person was saying that I was childish, that I was too curious for my own good, that, you know, that it would only land me in a heap of trouble. And, you know, that I should be more cautious about things, more serious about things. And that right there just kind of made me go, you know, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Here's a statement that a few people in my past kind of sort of made to me as well. And yeah, that didn't turn out so well. But then as I started looking at it, I went, all right, Kendal, you probably are overthinking it. Number one, overthinking it. Number two, get the fuck out of your ego. Like, whatever. Somebody can have an opinion and you don't have to agree with it, or you can agree with it in a different way, which is what I chose to do. I started to think of what the statement really meant. And when I looked at the story of Alice in Wonderland, actually, this person's very, very accurate. I am very much like Alice in Wonderland. I am extremely curious by nature. I want to know. I want to explore. I want to experience. I know that this life is here for us to do just that. And to always play it safe just means that I'm not going to ever really truly live life. I'm not even going to survive life because everybody dies. So there's no survival required here, right? You live as long as you live, and you want to live the best way that you possibly can live. It doesn't mean to be unsafe. That just means that you shouldn't not live an adventurous life, not live in love, not live in joy, not live in as much turn on as possible because you're scared that something might happen. You're scared that you might lose. And ultimately, that's what we're all scared of, right? We're scared of losing love. We're scared of losing money. We're scared of messing up our time. We're scared of losing our family. We're scared of losing stability. We're scared of all those kinds of things. Well, all those kinds of things come and go through life. And much like Alice, look at what she learned from that. Look at the cool individuals that she met and the different lessons that she potentially learned while she was running around Wonderland. And there are some beautiful lessons in Alice in Wonderland, which could be a whole nother topic. Actually, I think that Addison Bell wrote an article, if I remember right, about Alice in Wonderland like a year and a half ago. I remember it kind of flashed through my head there. So I just spoke it out. Go to her website and type in Alice in Wonderland and see what comes up. But or maybe it was the Wizard of Oz. Maybe it was the Wizard of Oz, what I'm thinking about. Anyway, yes, curiosity. Curiosity is definitely a key factor to feeling good, actually. A curious person is going to be able to explore life a little bit better. A curious person is going to be able to have the courage to step forward the majority of the time and actually feel into things. A curious person wants to dive deep into themselves. I can tell you that. A curious person wants to go inward and explore themselves as much as this world. Because as a curious person, I have learned that my internal world is being represented by my external world. So the more I get curious about the things going on around me, the more I actually wake up to the things that are happening on the inside. And if there's a bunch of stuff coming at me that doesn't make me feel good, then I know that I'm not feeling good. But guess what? I can flip that because I have the power. I can flip that, and I cannot wait until these things manifest in my real world life. I can actually take the time, if I'm curious enough, if I want to feel good, if I want to be turned on and in love with my life, I can go, time out, ego, time out, world, time out, family, friends, and lovers. Time out all that shit that is trying to come into my space right now. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to take actually 15 moments, like 15 minutes. And I'm going to go and I'm going to get silent. And I'm going to tap in. And I'm going to tune into what's going on. I'm going to hear. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen with intent for what is going on here. So that I can see, hear, experience that. Be curious about it. And take what I get from this. And focus on manifesting what I want, what I desire, what makes me happy. So if I go inward and I get curious here, go down that rabbit hole of self, guess what happens? My external world starts to manifest good shit instead of what I perceive as not good shit. And sure, there might be some interesting folks that come into the picture. There might be some very crazy shit going on. There may be some things that I go, I don't understand what that is. That was weird. There may be a lot of laughs. There might even be some tears. I may feel bigger than the world some days, and I may feel smaller than a church mouse other days. But if I choose to go inward first and become Alice and go inward and dive deep down that rabbit hole of curiosity into self, it is naturally going to lead me into a very curious state into my external world, because curious things will start to appear. And if I'm listening, I will step through the doorways of the right curious things and not the wrong curious things. And I will stay in alignment to soul, because I'll know that I know that I'm on soul's path because of back to being turned on, loving what's going on in your life, feeling good. That's it. Notice how, like, every single time there, I just came back to being turned on, loving your life, what feels good. That's it. Anything else needs to be cleared out, gotten rid of, processed through, let go, and embraced as that's not good for me. That's not on my path. Sorry. See you another lifetime type stuff. Okay? Or unless you don't want it in another lifetime, which you may not. There's plenty of stuff we don't want in other lifetimes. Yeah, see a bunch of... All right. Addison, I love Alice and Wonderland. Alice stays in the moment too. Yes, she does. The very good point. Alice definitely stays in the moment. Alice is a very present person. Although she might want to be a little bit more present on some of those things. But she does stay very much in the moment. I love Alice in Wonderland. Miga, good morning, Miga, by the way. So true. It's like sending the vibrations out into the universe, and a manifesting comes back to you. I love this new way of being. My journey had taken me so many beautiful places, and I've met, I'm guessing, if I click on see more, it's going to mess up the whole video. I'll do that after the video, but I'm guessing that from that final statement that I see, that you've met a ton of really cool people too. So yeah, I think I'm feeling completion here. I would just want you to focus in on, what are you feeling today? Where is your turn on at? Turn toward it, your turn on. Lean in and really embrace that stuff. because that's the important stuff. That stuff is calling you for a reason. You're attracted to it for a reason. Earlier, I think it was either today or yesterday, I posted on my wall here, I posted about, actually that was just this morning. I was in the middle of talking to a kid. I posted about, there's this woman sitting on the waterfront there, and it was talking about, that we get so caught up on forever, and sometimes what we might need to actually realize is that things come into our life for the moment to teach us, and it's the lessons that we get to keep forever, not necessarily the people or the experiences forever, but that it is the lessons that they bring to us that we get to keep forever, and to keep our focus on that. And as tough as that might be, because we deal with relationship, and none of us want to let go of really good relationships, and self included, there has been so many beautiful, fucking phenomenal relationships I've had, and I felt like it was going to be forever, and I even wanted it to be forever, but then forever ended. And forever ended for whatever the reason was. But after that mourning process, what I always come back to, always come back to, in my really beautiful moments or in my really not so beautiful moments, is the lesson. I come back to the gratitude, because when you can find the gratitude for what the lesson that you've been given, that means that you get to keep that forever, and you are forever changed by every relationship that comes into your life, even relationships that you don't have that physical one-on-one. So, it's like, what is your influence? What is your impact? What is your ripple effect? Just every single post that we make here on Facebook, we have a ripple effect. Somebody reads it, somebody sees it, somebody shares it, somebody clicks like on it, love on it, right? Makes a comment on it. And everything that we take in, it imprints in us, and it changes us just a smidgen. Sometimes that smidgen is a big smidgen. Sometimes it's just a little smidgen. But everything changes us. So realize that even if you feel like you're not really impacting this world, even if you feel like you have no influence, your circle is small, you don't really have any influence over it, nobody cares. That statement of nobody cares, nobody sees me, it doesn't matter anyway. Realize that it does matter, because how you choose to show up in this world, how you choose to share yourself in this world, has a ripple effect. And the reason why I do the work that I do, and things that, and the reason I even ever stepped foot into this work, was because I started to realize that ripple effect within inside myself, and I saw it in my immediate circle. I saw the impact with my children. I saw the impact with my spouse. I saw the impact with my parents, with a couple really good friends, as to what my ripple was causing them. And I went, some of it was good, and some of it was really not good. And I went in and I just started saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to change this not good shit, and I'm going to start to do better for myself. And thus, this is going to be better for all those that I love. Well, I didn't realize how big of a bite I was taking out of this elephant in my room. But what I got was that built desire inside of me. And as I learned and grew and started to understand things, I realized that ripple effect was far greater than just my household and just my small circle. That I could actually have a bigger impact by sharing myself, and that there was value in it. That the things that I was learning, I could translate over in my own unique way to help people that would never find it the way I found it. That could, and that's the thing. Speak your voice. Speak your message. Let it be seen. Let it be felt. Let it be heard. This is you. So let it out, because I think the biggest disgrace that we can give to God, to source, to spirit, to ourselves, is to live a life where we have not been seen. And when we have not been seen, we only do that by our own measure, by our own acts and deeds. We prevent ourselves from being seen. So think of that for just a second, and realize that, you have an opportunity to inspire. You have an opportunity to touch other people. And just letting your voice out and being conscious of what your voice is saying, the message that it's saying, the ripple that you are having. That's what you want to focus in on, okay? So, okay, get turned on. Love your life. Love your life. Clear out the shit that isn't needed. The things that are no longer, like the things that are going to hold you in 2018. Say goodbye to those. Get your ass ready to be ready for 2019. And get acting on who you want to be, which is who you really are. And the reason why you're attracted to those things is because it's who you are, okay? So lean into you, listen to you, focus on feeling good, focus on loving your life, all aspects of your life. Do the things that make you fall in love with you. Okay, guys? Okay, I'm going to end there. Let me see. Announcements. I am going to see. One day of me just going boom. And I'm like, bum, bum, bum. If you look at Conscious Coffee yesterday, I was like dead. My energy was horrible. I wanted to delete Conscious Coffee yesterday, but I'm committed to not doing that. I shouldn't have done Conscious Coffee yesterday, but you know what? I'm committed to doing it. So I did it. And yesterday was, in my opinion, horrible. But one day of me going, no, I'm going to take care of me. And like now I'm like, bubbly and everything. Hold on. Before I start making announcements, let me see what Miga has to say. Love this. Thank you, Liga. I have had so many people notice the changes within me and they want to know more. My little vibe tribe is growing and the ripples are in full force. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, keep being the light. I have watched Miga's stuff here and there for the last, 2 years? Miga and I have an interesting history. So, we know each other and we don't know each other all at the same time. But I kind of feel like we have a lot in common. So, Miga, message me sometime. We should chat. But, and you're, I think you're up in Washington, huh? One of my favorite places in the world. So, all right, what was I doing? Back to announcements. Okay, announcements. I am running 10 very special people. So I'm only opening up this to 10 people, of which I already have a couple spots already taken. And I just announced it yesterday. So that is called Boss Life 500. Addison, I'm going to ask you to put the link up for me, please. Because I see that you just clicked like or love on there. Love you too. And love you even more when you put the link up for me. So Boss Life 500. This is my special for 2019. It is my way of really, truly trying to give back a little bit to everybody, because I've had so many people come to me, fill out applications, and then they get my prices and they're like, oh shit, you're expensive. And yeah, I am expensive. I'm expensive, but you know, I get the job done. And the purpose behind hiring a coach is because you don't want to spend the next 5 years trying to figure some shit out, or the next 15 years trying to figure shit out. And I can probably move you through that shit in the next 3 to 4 months. Well, in December, I offered 2 months worth of free coaching onto any of my coaching programs. So that went through, and I've got a nice group of people that took, that signed up for that took advantage of that. And then I went, but then there was all these people that came in from that, and even people over the course of the last couple months that have filled out these applications. I'm losing my voice again. And then once we chit chat, they tell me I can't afford you. Well, I get that. I can't afford some of the people that I would like to afford too. So when we can't afford something, but we still want something, we try to figure out a way to get it, right? We try to figure out a way to get it. So I give away a shit ton of free content. I mean, I'm always writing. I'm always doing different videos. And then I do I do free courses. And then I also come up with inexpensive courses to try to pack in a whole bunch of different stuff so that you guys can get a whole bunch of information, education, and movement in your life to really transform into that fuck yes life that you want by, being able to access the things that I've learned and can share with you in simple format, right? Then there are other people that are like, yeah, that's all great, but I want one-on-one with you, but they can't afford me. So if you are one of those people that believes that you can't afford me, or you just want to just really rock out 2019, and you're like, you know what, I just need good, swift kick in my ass for January, and I don't really necessarily want to commit to 3, 4, 5, 6 months of coaching. I just need somebody to come in and go bam with a baseball bat, right? To see my shit and go, here it is, and this is how we're going to work through it. Get your ass in gear. This is great for that person too, okay? It is a steal of a deal. So it's Boss Life 500. Click on the link that is provided here in the thread for that. And it is like, I'm not doing consults for this, okay? So you save the consult fee right there. I'm not doing consults. It is all on the phone. So no matter where you're at in this world, you can still get the Boss Life 500 going. As I mainly did that because I have people that are out of state and up in Canada that was asking me about different stuff. So this is available to everybody there too, okay? So no excuse of, oh, I'm in New York. No, I have clients in New York. I have clients in Florida. I got clients in Ireland, okay? And in England. Let's just not focus on where you're at. Let's get you moving, okay? And I'm doing a whole intensive 4 weeks, one-on-one, really signature-based coaching around the top issues that you want to work on and that you want to see transformation in 2019 in. So this does not focus in on any one particular area. This is designer, top of the line signature just for you. So there is an application at the bottom of it, and it's not just an application. It just tells the different things that I need to know to get you started, and then you commit right there on that page. So if you commit, then yay, guess what? You're going to be getting an email from me going, okay, yay, let's get you booked for next week. Okay, let's get your ass going. If you want to start the new year off with a big bang, shooting for the stars and hitting some of them, then check out Boss Life 500. Okay, guys, let me say anything else. Oh, Addison and I are doing for all our local people around here, local peeps, Fort Worth, Dallas, or anybody that wants to make the commute. On January 13th, we are doing our Tantra Reboot. This is a very experiential workshop that we are doing in Plano. In Plano, Texas. It'll be 3-4 hours of intensive experiential foundational tantric work. So you can go to the events tab on my website at kendalwilliams.com, and you can look at that for the 12th of January and go ahead and sign up there. Again, it's going to be small group, limited spots. So it's already got a couple sold out in there, and I haven't even announced it yet. I don't think. I did. I announced it in a newsletter yesterday. Briefly. I haven't really focused on it, and it's already got some people signed up for it. So if you are wanting to take advantage of that and you are local or want to make the commute in and you want to just explore a little bit deeper dive into some foundational practices of Tantra and how that can really set the tone for your life, bring more connection into your life. Oh, and thank you, Addison. Addison has put that down too for us. Then this is definitely the space to do it in. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Click on my programs page. There's stuff always coming out. I just released His, Hers, and Ours. Don't worry about putting that one up, Addison. I just released His, Hers, and Ours. And then I've got all the replays from the Yin Yang 47 hacks for having a fuck yes life on there, and also Ass in the Sand when I was in Jamaica. For all you entrepreneurs out there, I created an entrepreneur class taking your life from 0 to 100K really quickly while I was in Jamaica. So there's tons to explore, tons available. Right now, though, is the Boss Life 500, because this is only going to be based and open, well, until the 10 people sign up, and then that's over. But I'm pretty much doing the cutoff by January 10th. And that just means that anybody who signs up by January 10th, that if you miss that first week of coaching appointments, that's okay. I'm actually working into February with this because I already have a couple people that have messaged me and said, hey, we're going to be out of town one of these weeks. I can't do a coaching call. I'm actually traveling during that time frame. So I've got you covered on all that stuff. Check it out. And as always, stop existing, start living, and I will see you tomorrow morning for another Conscious Coffee. Bye, guys.